Hello, my name is Edith Aguilar, and I will be sharing some information about pet. Hello, my name is Edith Aguilar, and I will be sharing some information about the Humane Society of Sedona. The Humane Society of Sedona is a non-kill animal shelter in Sedona, Arizona that has been open since 1966. It serves the Sedona community as well as some areas in Phoenix. Their goal is to find happy, forever homes for all of the animals that come into the shelter, as well as to ensure that all animals are in or get to a good physical state. No animal in the shelter will be euthanized unless they have an untreatable behavior or medical condition. I interviewed with the Director of Development here at the shelter, Felicia Phillips. She went to UC San Diego and got her bachelor's degree in communications. She is a former social event planner who has always had a love for dogs. She started at the Humane Society of Sedona as a volunteer and was able to get her current position by starting there. Her former experience putting on events at Zurich Insurance helped me learn that insurance companies put on events. I never considered an insurance company as a way to put on events or as a way to travel. With Zurich Insurance, she was able to spend a few years in London putting on the events for the Zurich Insurance Company. The Humane Society of Sedona puts on many events. Most are held by the shelter, and some come through third parties that just want to help support the shelter. There is an event request for third parties, and most third parties have to put on most of the events. And then the shelter is kind of just there to see them through. There are many small fundraising events throughout the entire year. They have events that include the Paws Walking Through the Runway, which is a dog and cat fashion show held in the shopping center of Sedona. They also have a Halloween pet costume event in October. During the summer months, they put on a Kids and Critter week-long camp. This event is to help educate kids on what it's like to have and care for an animal. They can also learn great information about animals and critters to watch out for in the natural environment. The biggest event that the shelter holds is their Pet Lover Gala. This is a formal fundraising event that is held once a year. The shelter uses this event to help pay for medical, food, and care needs for all of the animals, as well as to help keep the shelter in operation. The event usually has a silent auction as well as a live auction. Also, everything at this event is donated or paid for by sponsors. The shelter tried to incorporate the animals into the event by bringing some of the animals along. The shelter also does a bid on some of the animals' medical expenses and will try to bring those animals to the event to help get sponsors and donors to get in their feels a little bit and produce a visual representation of what the sponsors and donors will be paying for. Everything earned in the event also goes right back into the shelter. Most of the planning consists of calling and emailing companies for donations. The decor at the event is usually sponsored, and the event is a great cause that could not happen without the great people and companies who are willing to donate and sponsor to the Humane Society of Sedona. The Humane Society of Sedona also has many opportunities for anyone who wants to get involved. These volunteer opportunities start as young as 13. Those 13 to 15 can volunteer with a guardian or parent present. Volunteers 16 and older just need to fill out an application and attend orientation. All volunteers are required to do at least 2 to 3 hours of volunteer work a week to ensure that the shelter has some consistency. Those who cannot provide their time can donate items to the shelter or to the shelter's thrift store. The shelter has an online wish list that people can purchase, and the items can then be sent directly to the shelter. A person or company can also sponsor one kennel for an entire year. The sponsor will receive a plaque on the kennel for the entire year, representing their animal on a kennel to show their support for the shelter. They even have a vehicle donation. This is where someone can donate their vehicle to the shelter, and the shelter will work with a third party to sell the vehicle so the proceeds can go into the shelter. These are just some ways in which someone can get involved at the shelter, and the shelter itself has many, many more resources and information on their website.